DA-DUM. DA-DUM. Sorry everyone, had to be done. The newest LEGO idea set is none other than Jaws, kindly sent to me by LEGO for this review. Based off of one of the most popular movies of all time, considered to be the first ever summer blockbuster, the Jaws LEGO model captures an iconic snapshot of the movie where the shark jumps onto Quint's boat, the Orca, and I quite like how the whole thing was done in a diorama type of build. As you're probably aware, this isn't a new concept and was done many times before in themes like Star Wars, but also a few one-offs for Jurassic Park and Indiana Jones. So if you're a fan of Steven Spielberg, you now have 3 models done in a similar fashion that showcase in LEGO form some of his best work. The black base is the widest of all 3 and comes with the standard printed tile with the movie name as well as a movie quote, this time around showcasing Chief Brody's remark, "You're gonna need a bigger boat," also printed. And speaking of Brody, he is included as a minifigure in the set, together with 2 more mandatory characters, Matt Hooper and Quint. Brody's prints are overall nicely done. He has dual molded arms and dual printed expression. Quint is the simpler minifigure out of the 3, with just the one expression that perfectly captures the character in my opinion, and last but not least, Matt Hooper, with a bit more printed detail going on, and again with a dual expression head under that cool beanie element with the air coming out. All minifigures have accessories to go with them, with Matt having one in his hand I wasn't able to identify if it weren't for the interview with the model designers telling me it's his duffel bag the first time we get to see the character in the movie. Nice. The 3 characters can be placed in an alternate display stand the set has, where you can also place the great white shark. The second Jaws printed tile the set has gets blocked in the process, which is a bit weird but not that big of an issue for me. The shark itself is nothing short of impressive, and in my opinion the best looking LEGO shark ever made. Not that LEGO has done that many in the past, but still. The shapes are all there, making great use of relatively new LEGO elements, like this long wedge slope on the top of the head, some of these angled slopes for the face, or even Speed Champion scar wedges for the body and fins. But I can't really decide if my favorite piece used was the Ninjago shoulder piece elements for the gills, or the bar with ball for the shark's lifeless eyes. And the building techniques used for this are also outstanding, where I'll just highlight my favorite, where this weird assembly gets placed in here at an angle with no wiggle room whatsoever, further enhancing the looks of the shark's upper jaw brilliantly. And it doesn't stop there, as you can split the shark into 2 if you decide to display it on the main base like so, as he is about to attack the ship. I'm usually not that big of a fan of things that don't get used in the main model and are simply extras that could be avoided altogether for better priced LEGO products. But in this case, the piece count investment on the side build wasn't that high, and in turn does provide with customers with the option of having the entire shark, which people would for sure be complaining about had it not been there, right? And the way the shark fits onto the base is done quite well. Almost no gaps can be seen with the angled connections, and the effect of the shark coming out of the water with the use of different kinds of dark blue slopes and wedges, as well as the water foam and small waves with the white shapes here and there, almost as if they're spilling out of the display base, are also great. And I honestly can't say if I like the shark build more or the Orca. I may be repeating myself here, but this is to me the best looking boat LEGO has ever done. Not without its faults, but more on that in a bit. The colors don't really match the movie reference, but as explained by the designers, they went for a more saturated color combo that would stand out a bit more as a LEGO model. And I don't really have a problem with it honestly, but the sand green instead of tan would have been nicer though. And despite the relatively small size of the build, it is jam-packed with details, a bit too much almost, but ones that fans of the movie will recognize almost instantly. The yellow barrels at the front, Quint would harpoon against his prey, the pulpit, the shark's teeth up there or towards the stern, Matt Hooper's cage parts and air tanks, Quint's fishing poles and chair, or even the bucket of chum used to bait the shark closer. And that's just a few of them. The closer you look, the more likely you'll find even more. The top can be removed to reveal a small interior scene with a bunch more details, many of them stickers like the ship's dials, Amity's map with the shark sightings, or the local newspaper reporting the attack of a Campbell, which is in fact the fan designer of the model. But there's also a few prints like the letter and compass, as well as a large print in the stern with the boat's name Orca. As far as the build went, it was really good. Lots of studs not on top techniques for the boat's hull, but the entire bow section was amazing in all sorts of ways, with the angles used or building things upside down at one point. The pulpit with that string, droid arm pieces and sausages was also brilliant, and so was the top section here, done completely sideways. I can't say I enjoyed building these more than I did the Tuxedo Cat or the Retro Radio, which have been my favorite builds of the year. But when it comes to minifigure-sized LEGO sets, out of everything I put together so far, this has been the best. These strings do bother me though, because first of all you need to tie a knot down there, which is hard, even more so while trying to find the right spot to do it. But you can't stretch the strings too much or the mast will lean forward, but if on the other hand you go for a bit of a looser fit, then they aren't completely stretched, making them not looking that great, with one of mine even falling while moving the boat around. Quinn's fishing chair, while beautifully designed, doesn't really allow a minifigure to sit securely, but standing, and there's the sticker use. But again, all of that is overshadowed by the enjoyment I had while building all of this. Surprisingly enough, closing in on 1500 pieces, the LEGO Jaws set will retail for $150, averaging a 10 cents per piece price ratio, which, considering there's an IP partner involved, is not that bad at all. The product also displays really nicely whichever way you decide to do it. It is narrow enough to fit most bookshelves around the house, and so, for the millions of Jaws fans out there, I can totally recommend this one to you. It is a solid LEGO product all around, and if you've been watching my videos for a while now, you'll know I don't say this often. But for the people that aren't that much into Jaws but are still fans of LEGO, I would also recommend this to them, as the boat and shark were amazing builds and look way better than most unbranded things LEGO has done when it comes to sharks and boats. If it weren't for the string situation and the stickers, this would have been a 10 out of 10 product. It goes on sale in just a few weeks, links in the description, and I'll see you all in the next one. DA-DUM. DA-DUM.